What's up, YouTube? This is going to be a guide on how to use Toedscruel in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'll be providing some competitive movesets and some fun meme movesets too. If there's a Pokemon set that maybe I missed here or you want to add to it, let me know about it in the comment section of the video. And let's get into it. Earlier on, I did a Mabostiff guide as well, so if you want to check that out, make sure you do. Quite an interesting Pokemon. Speaking of interesting Pokemon, Toedscruel is quite interesting. So with its ground and grass, you wouldn't call that the greatest typing in the world. Straight off the bat, being 4 times weak to ice, you know, so it is not the greatest typing. Now, let's have a look at its ability, because this had the potential to be really, really cool, but there's one real drawback to it. So this Pokemon status moves go last in their priority, which sucks, but it ignores abilities. So that's really cool. You know, the last bit's cool, but having that negative from priority makes that kind of bad. So first set we want to have a look at here is going to be a special sweeper. So depending on what format you're playing, you could build this sweeper differently. I'm just going to go modest nature and max speed there, max special attack. So I've given it heavy duty boots. There's an array of items you could give this Pokemon, right? You could give it, I was thinking you could give it Life Orb, heavy duty boots. You could give, depending on if you're going to give it a special move, a status move, you could give it Assault Vest, you give it Life Orb, you could give it Expert Bell, you could give it Yaki Berry. There's quite a few options there. Now, as for the Terra type, I've given it Steel, so that gets around the Ice type weakness, and also it's a surprise factor as well. You can go for a Flash Cannon too. I've also given it Giga Drain here. Obviously, that's going to be some nice Grass Stab. It's going to give you Sustain, and I've also given it Earth Power too. So its special attack isn't super duper amazing. The thing about it is its special defense. Its special defense is really, really good, and its speed's actually quite nice too. I guess Tentacruel and stuff like that had good speed too, so it's sort of like that, but a little bit different. So I've given this a sweeping special set. So I've given this Spore as well. Spore's quite nice because you can put the opponent to sleep. The only drawback is you're not going to go first, which really, really sucks. Is normally with the move Spore, right? I'm just going to use your Breloom an example. Say if you outspeed stuff, you can use the Spore, take no damage, set up a substitute, or just do damage to the opponent after that. This one you've got to take a hit, or you've got to wait at least a turn, and then you can do something. So that's definitely the drawback of Mycelium Might there. It's cool, but I don't know, it's flawed, I guess you could say. Next set here we've got is going to be a defensive rapid spin set. So this is interesting. So we've got Spore and Leech Seed, which is nice there, some good status moves. I've also got rapid spin there for a bit of support, and it's also got Earth Power too. So this one is going to be a defensive set. It's not really made to be doing much damage. It's just pure support, right? So we can put opponents to sleep, we can set up Leech Seeds, we can get rid of any entry hazards, increase our speed, and we've got Earth Power there for a bit of coverage as well against any Steel types, and it's still got a decent amount of special attack, so it's going to be doing some damage. The item I've given it is Leftovers, so Leftover Leech Seed is always really nice there. Look, you could opt to give it Giga Drain too. The only thing about that is you are walled by grass type Pokemon, so Rapid Spin isn't exactly going to be doing much damage, so you have to sort of bear that one in mind there. So that would work well for singles. We've got another singles sort of set here. Next set I want to have a look at is an Assault Vest one. So you're probably thinking, well, it's already got a massive special defensive stat. Let's make it even bigger, right? So this one is going to be very special defensive here, but, defensive, but I'm also going to throw the Assault Vest on, giving it really insane bulk all round. So max health EVs, max defense, calm nature. I've got on this one the last 4 in special defense and Assault Vest, so look at those overall bulk. It's going to be able to take a lot of hits here. So firstly, we've got Rapid Spin. That's just a great move there on Toedscruel. It's a very speedy Rapid Spinner too, which gives it a nice little niche. I've got Giga Drain there for sustain. We've got Earth Power, and I've got Knock Off too. So Knock Off is just a nice supporting move there. Removing items, doing some damage with Earth Power, healing back, and getting rid of entry hazards. So not a bad bulky set there. You could use this one in doubles too. I could see that one working, but there are better sets you can use in doubles, which I'll get to in a sec. So this has been more geared towards a single situation there, just tanking lots of hits there, and just generally just doing a bit of damage and being annoying. That's sort of what this set is going to be. The Terra, I've given that one as ground. I mean, I probably wouldn't Terra this set, to be honest, but you could give it Terra Ground, Terra Dark, stuff like that. This set here before, I actually gave this one Terra Fire as well. Terra Fire's not bad because you can get around, you know, that ice type move, and it's not a bad sort of Terra type to be. If I forgot to mention that one, and this one I already mentioned. So yeah, there's sort of like some single sets you could use here. This being more of a sweeping, this being like more defensive support, and this one being like super like all-round support there, defense and special defensive. Next one we want to have a look at is doubles. So it actually gets Rage Powder, which is really, really cool there. So with a Rage Powder set, you need to be bulky, right? There's absolutely no way you want to be running Rage Power and not be bulky. So we've got Spore and Rage Powder, which is nice, and I've given it Earth Power and Giga Drain just purely for coverage. Now, I've made this one very, very special defensive. So this is a special defensive wall with max health, max special defense, and it's very, very bulky with Calm Nature. So I've given this one Rocky Helmet too, just to deter the opponent from actually hitting you with a physical type move. And if they are going to hit you with a physical type move, they are going to take some damage from Rocky Helmet, and you know they're going to probably have to take some damage from Giga Drain or Earth Power too on top of that. So just a little bit of all-round bulk there, and you know got Spore to put the opponents to sleep too. So yeah, that works kind of nice there on Toedscruel. Very, very good sort of doubles. That's probably your best double set you're going to have there. And yeah, if you got any more doubles sets, let me know about in the comment section. But I feel like, you know, you could mix the EVs around a little bit if you really, really wanted to. That might work for sure. Like if you want to make it, oh, I want to make this more defensive and stuff like that, you could do that too. That's fine. Like that would actually be okay. You could go more of a special sweeper too if you wanted to. So you could just put Spore on there. And I could see that one working too at the same time. This is more like support. So yeah, just a doubles Rage Power support set. So there you go. If you want to use Toedscruel with a Rage Powder and Spore. Next one we got here, we got a subseeding set. So I thought we could make like a bulky subseeding set here and see how it goes. The first sign I've got in there is Yaki Brew, so that's going to power down super effective ice type moves. It's 4 times weak to ice, so you know, especially if it gets hit on the special side, it's definitely going to be able to live that because it's a nice bulk, and you know the effects of Yaki Brew too. You know, powering down the super effects by like half. So we've got Subseed and we got Spore. So I'm trying to run it a little bit like Breloom here, but it's a lot more passive than Breloom, but it's a lot more bulkier. So we've got Spore, we've got Sub, we've got Leech Seed. So you could go like Spore first, and then you could get some health back, Giga Drain, or you can throw the Sub up. So when you're behind the Sub, you could go for the Seed there, and then you've got the Giga Drain option, and you've got the options to put the opponent to sleep. Obviously, this is going to get walled by any Grass-type Pokemon, Sap Sipper, stuff like that. So you obviously just use your common sense and swap it in at the right time. So just another option there. This one I'm running Bulk and Speed on, so it's tanky but it's quick at the same time. Matter of fact, if you really didn't care about speed, because Mycelium might sort of takes over 3 of these moves here, you could opt for something like this to give it like really like a bulky special attacker. So that would do like a lot of damage to Giga Drain. I would see that working too. Matter of fact, it could even work better there because you'll get more sustain, allowing you to get you know, another substitute up and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd go with that. So that's a bulky special attacker with Spore and Subseed sort of set there. So that's another option for Toedscruel. Now, the next set I want to have a look at is going to be a physical one. So I did try out the physical set. It does have base 70, which, let's be real, isn't really that great, but it's not absolutely horrendous either. So I've given this one Adam Nature, and we've got max speed and max attack. So the great thing about its speed stat is it still gets, you know, a nice amount of speed there, even when you don't run like Jolly or Timid. So I've given this one Loaded Dice as the item, and it does have Bullet Seeds. So, you know, 4 Bullet Seeds is going to be 100 base power. So that's going to outclass Power Whip, which is really cool. I've also given it Knockoff, which is nice little coverage moves there. And I've given it Terra Blast Fire. So a nice little surprise for Ice-type Pokemon. Another cool move that it actually gets, that a lot of people do overlook, is Acro Pressure. So Acro Pressure randomly raises a stat that isn't maxed by 2. It can actually be used on an ally in doubles too. So if you want to, you could add that onto like that, where's that support set? The support set that I was running before. So you could throw on like, you know, instead of Earth Power or Giga Drain, you could throw on Acro Pressure too. So not a bad option. If you get a +2 in attack, suddenly Toedscruel is very, very threatening. You know, you've got like 100 base power bullet seeds coming your way, and you've got a way to hit those ice-type Pokemon too, and you'll be Terrafire as well, so you'll be very terrified. And you've also got Knockoff there too, so that's going to be very powerful. Get through bulky Pokemon, get rid of annoying items. So I have given this one a try. It didn't actually do all that bad. It did very, very well after I got an Acro Pressure boost off there. It was very, very nice. But yep, a little bit of fun. Obviously, definitely not super competitive whatsoever, but a little bit of fun if you want to try and use a physical set there to surprise the opponent. Now, as for some teammates, I'm thinking a good teammate for this would be like a steel type. So, like I'd say Goldengo's coming to my mind there as quite a good partner. Absolutely. You can get around any of those ice-type moves there, which is good, you know. I know they are both weak to fire. That's another thing which sort of sucks about it, but it can get around those ice types, which is good. And at least it can do some sort of damage there. You know, it's got like... It has power gems, so it can do some damage to those fire-type Pokemon. Another good one that would probably be even better, I'm just thinking on the spot here, would be Skeledirge. That would be a great counter, because that way you can get around those ice moves. You don't have to worry about those fire moves at all, so that's probably even better, you know. So, and you know, anything else like that, it can probably handle. So, Skeledirge and, you know, Toedscruel. Actually, I'd say that's better than Goldengo in my opinion. So, Skeledirge and Toedscruel, a nice little like combination there. Try and think of anything else that would be good. I'd say on the spot here, you could. Like, Tyranitar wouldn't be all that bad there. You could go with that. So, like, we got Tyranitar. Like, normal Tyranitar there. And that could go all right. As for, like, just team options there. I'm just thinking doubles and singles here. Both of these could, like, really work. So, just another option there. And, obviously, you can cover its Grass-type weaknesses too. So, if Tyranitar's in, Toedscruel can come in there. And, you know, this is scared of, like, a Fire-type move. And even an Ice-type move there, you know, Tyranitar is going to be able to tank that pretty well, especially on the, you know, the special side of things like that. So that's just another option you could use for Toedscruel. Let's go over its moves that it gets there, see if we can come up with anything else, really. Firstly, let's have a look at its status moves. So we do have the option here of it setting up Light Screen. The problem is you've got Mycelium Might, so you're going to be going second a lot of the time, which, you know, kind of sucks. Another option here you could use it for is Spikes. That's another one too. I've seen it used for Spikes, and yeah. Once again, the problem is you have to go second all the time because of its ability. Like, if you went first, it'd be like so much better. Now, it's got a Trick Room set too you could go for. If you want to set up any Trick Room, that could work. I'm thinking something like, just for the Spikes one, you could have like a lead set, something like this. You know, you got your Toxic Spikes, and then you could go like Giga Drain. And then Earth Power. Like, that could be a nice little setup there. And you could, I don't know, you could Terra. I probably wouldn't Terra that sort of set there. I just sort of leave it as in setting up as many spikes as possible. And you could make it, I'd probably make it defensive. Because its special defense is like already good. So you want to be taking like as much damage, hits as possible. And then you can give it Citrus Berry, you know. So that would give you some extra sustain while setting up spikes and toxic spikes. And you've got Giga Drain on Earth Power too. So that could give you a way to hit up all those spikes and toxic spikes on the field. That's another option there for Toedscruel. So let's go back to its status moves there. There were a couple that I missed. Yeah, so it does have grassy terrain too. That could work if you want to set that up. It's a little way more gimmicky though. It does have Rain Dance, which is kind of interesting too, to set rain up. But yeah, probably way sort of like too gimmicky there. We've got Trick Room too. They could trick the Trick Room up. That could be a nice Pokemon to give that a go. But outside that, it's not doing too much. Pretty cool that it gets like Reflect type, but that's more like sort of gimmicky stuff. I just wish its ability didn't make that negative priority, because that would be like way better. Now let's have a look at its special move that it gets here, then we'll have a look at its physical. So for doubles, it does get Dazzling Gleam, which is another option that you could use there. It would probably go against like fighting types and dark types and dragon and that sort of stuff. That would be about it. We've also got Leaf Storm on there if you wanted to run a little bit more offensive. You could use Leaf Storm with like White Herb or something like that. And it also gets Mirror Coat too, so I did see like I have seen this once, like it's got such a big special defense as that, so you might be able to put this on like some sort of like bulky defensive set like this, and like don't know, sort of like a similar build to we did already before. And, you know, it might take a powerful, like, ice-type move there and then hit back with Mirror Coat. So that's another sort of, like, hidden option you could have on there. Probably not the greatest because its special defense is already quite good, so it's going to be hard to do lots of damage to it. And then, you know, Mirror Coat won't do a lot either. So that's more gimmicky. Yeah, there's not too much else for this Pokemon. Once again, it is a bit limited on what it can do. Let's have a look at its physical moves here. So I went over Power Whip. So we had Power Whip there, and we had Bullet Seed. Bullet Seed was 100 base power with 4 hits. Power Whip is a little bit more with 120 base power, but it's got that shaky accuracy. So I believe Bullet Seed outclasses it because it can have 125 base power still and be, you know, 100% accurate, and it's each individual hit. At worst, it's going to be 100, and it's never going to miss. So that's probably what I would run. You could go like, I'm thinking like Choice Band. You could do it maybe. So like Power Whip. Let's go. We'll try Power Whip. So we've got Knock Off. Okay. Yeah, we could go, I don't know, Rapid Spin. I don't know if I really want to do that, but we'll go Choice Band. We'll do a Choice Band set for the fun of it. Always like to explore all options. Okay, we'll go back to this. We've got Foul Play, Rapid Spin, Seed Bomb. I mean, you could have bullets. You could double up on the Bullet Seat and the Power Whip. I'd probably go like Rapid Spin, so it's got some use there. I don't think it's got anything like Trick or Switcheroo. No, it doesn't have anything like that. It's got Trick Room, but not the other thing. So yeah, you probably could try and run a physical set if you wanted to with Choice Band, but yeah, it's not going to do too much. You could put the big Giga Impact on there, but and, you know, give it max health and max. I don't know. You could make it like you could make actually fast. That'd be better if it was fast. But yes, you could go for that there. Try and get some more damage off on the opponent. But as I said, it's not really cut out to be a physical attacker. And yeah, let me summarize this Pokemon here. So there's not too much else I can explain for it. It's got a cool ability, but with a really bad downside. Most of the time, you're going to see it either be really tanky or just a sweeping set, you know. And it's always mostly going to have Spore and Leech Seed. And if it doesn't, it's always going to have like a sweeping set. It's always going to have like Giga Drain and Earth Power. You know, they're going to be like its staple moves it's using. As for Terra, it's either going to go into Terra, I'd say Terra Steel or Fire would be the most common Terras that it goes into. I don't think there's anything else to explain for Toedscruel. It's an interesting sort of Pokemon. Its stats are kind of unique as well. It's got good special defense and speed. It's got good bulk about it. It can be a decent special attacker. It can even be an alright physical attacker. The problem is its ability really does let it down. Like a Pokemon that can't use Spore first but has a good speed stat is... it's just not that good, you know. It's just kind of frustrating because it could be a lot better if it didn't have that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, if you've got anything to add to Toedscruel, please let me know in the comment section if you've got any good sets that work for it. I think it's a really interesting Pokemon. It's cool. That's about it for tonight's video. Once again, if you want to check out all my guides for all the Pokemon, I've probably nearly about 3/4 done through all the Gen 9 fully evolved Pokemon. So all you got to do is check it out in the description of the video. That's where the playlist is. You can go through. If you want to know how to use a Pokemon, I've done it in there. And earlier on, I did do a Mabastiff guide too. So today we sort of covered some of the, I guess, the less used Pokemon. But that doesn't mean they can still be good. All right, people. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace out.